Hey guys, this is Curtis from Just Another Night. Today we're going to be going into the whole debacle about Microsoft going out and buying ZeniMax Media. Make sure to stick around for the end of the video. This is where we will be talking about the most important part of information, whether or not Elder Scrolls 6 might actually make it to the PlayStation. Remember to like the video, hit subscribe and turn the notification bell on so you'll be told whenever we upload a video. I hope you enjoy today's weird Skyrim footage. I ran out of games to kind of put behind. I thought, Elder Scrolls, that'll do. So let's get right into it. At the end of September, Microsoft bought ZeniMax Media. This is the parent company of a large amount of smaller game studios. Some of the game studios that they have are Machine Games, Arcane Studios, and probably the biggest one that they have under their belt is Bethesda. So this deal went through for $7.5 billion US dollars. That's an incredible amount of money. Like, imagine the amount of Kit Kats that you could buy for $7.5 billion. That's a lot of Kit Kats. Microsoft have been in the habit of acquiring lots of different game developers, and this has lasted for a very, very long time. So one of the biggest examples of this is probably Bungie. So in 2000, Microsoft brought out Bungie and attached it to the Microsoft Game Studios. This was mainly because of how well the original Halo game sold. When Halo was originally released, it was released for Windows and Mac. So it had managed to sell an amazing 6.5 million copies. And this was back in a time where gaming wasn't really the norm. It wasn't something that was like highly acclaimed and lots of people wanted to do it. So with the exclusivity of Xbox having the Halo franchise, it made the 360 boom in sales. When Halo 3 was released towards the end of 2007, it managed to beat both the original Halo games in sales, and it had managed to make $170 million within the first 24 hours of release. Now to today's standard, that's probably not as good as most other games, but bearing in mind the price point back then, and also the fact that no one really played that many games, $170 million is absolutely insane for a game within 24 hours of release. A few months after the release of Halo 3, Microsoft made a deal with Bungie to allow them to go and be a private limited company, but in doing so, they left the rights of the Halo franchise with Microsoft. This was one of the most important parts in Microsoft's history for gaming, as Halo was 100% their flagship game to keep people playing on their console and using their platforms. So this is the thing. Microsoft buying out game studios isn't exactly something that's new, but it's something that's never really concerned anybody. With Microsoft being such a diverse company, they tend to acquire lots of different things and try to branch into multiple different avenues. Microsoft have openly said that they don't really consider Sony or Nintendo to be much of a threat. Right now, they honestly believe that their major competitors are Google and Amazon. But if you think about it, they're not really wrong. Right now, Microsoft are putting an awful lot of energy into the whole xCloud thing. This shows that they're trying to take gaming to the next level. Google have tried to monopolise on the exact same thing. They released Google Stadia, and that's pretty much where Microsoft are planning to go as well. I think the major difference between them is that Microsoft is primarily doing a lot of stuff with gaming, whereas Google, that was their first attempt. So you can understand if things didn't quite work out the way that they had planned. With Amazon and Google being such big companies with lots of different assets and having lots of fingers in different pies, it kind of shows that the closest thing that Microsoft is probably going to have to any form of competition, just due to how much money each company has. So why is everyone so nervous? Do they have a reason to be nervous? Let's go into it a little bit. So usually, when any form of developer is overtaken by a major company, their games become exclusives. So a big example of this is Spider-Man. So Sony own the rights to Spider-Man. This means that people that play on Xbox can't play the new Spider-Man game. They couldn't play Spider-Man PS4 when that came out. And even when it comes to the release of Marvel Avengers, they released that both on Xbox and on PlayStation, but the PlayStation edition got an exclusive Spider-Man character in the game that Xbox weren't allowed, due to Sony owning the rights to the character. So as it stands, usually when a company owns a specific franchise, that franchise usually becomes an exclusive, right? Well, there's been a few times that this isn't the case. So Microsoft actually brought out Minecraft, and it was very clear that that game wasn't going to become an exclusive, just for the fact that it was so well established on every other console, and they weren't going to just rip it off the PlayStation. So, here's where the issue kind of stands. Microsoft own Xbox. They also own and develop one of the most popular operating systems for PC in the world, which is Windows. So, when they own two of the most major gaming platforms, you can understand that there may be a little bit of concern there. When the sale went through, a couple of things had been said. One of the most notable things was, what Microsoft own, Sony cannot get. This brings an awful lot of concern to everybody who plays PlayStation. Does this mean that everyone planning on buying the next PlayStation aren't going to be able to play the newest Elder Scrolls game? Because at this point, no one's really sure, and it hasn't been that clear. So Elder Scrolls 6, it could easily be released on the Xbox and the PC, and then they could probably just hold off on releasing it for the PlayStation, at least for the start of it anyway. It could legitimately be months or even years before they decide that the PlayStation have a right to, get the rights to the game. Obviously getting rid of exclusives and making everyone be able to play any game, regardless of their platform, it would be the ideal world, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. Microsoft usually react in a similar way every single time that they do this, and they'll hold it off for a very long time. For example, Halo's only just come onto PC, and, that's their own game on their own operating system, but they kept it very, very stuck to the Xbox because they wanted to sell more copies of this console, which I understand. It's a great marketing technique, but it's just not very consumer friendly. Microsoft are usually quite good with releasing their exclusive games. A good example of this was Ori. This was recently released on the Switch, meaning that they are allowing for more people to play the game despite their choice of console. One of the biggest reasons that Elder Scrolls 6 may not get released on the PlayStation is because, at the moment, Microsoft have been putting so much time, effort, and money into launching their Game Pass for Xbox and then also PC. They want as much on this as they can, because this will entice more people into their program, and then with more people into their program, they have more of a passive income. Because if you've got a large selection of games, people aren't going to need to go out and buy more games. And even though it's only £12, or I think it's $13 in the US, this is still having a massive, massive income for them. Imagine if just 1,000 people paid for this Game Pass a month. Obviously there is a lot more people than that, but that would be $13,000 every single month that Microsoft are getting just for owning these studios and having this Game Pass as a thing. So it works really well as a passive income, and there is no way that you could just turn away and be like, yeah, but it's not that important, because it is. If they have the newest Elder Scrolls game on their Game Pass, people wouldn't have to pay the $60 for it. You wouldn't have to pay the AAA price because it's already included, and that's enough to entice someone. Because even if they just bought the Game Pass for a month, played the game, and it would be fine, chances are you'd see all the stuff that's on there and you'd want to carry on using it, using this service. And that would give them more and more money, to the point that, realistically, Microsoft makes so much money from every avenue that they're in. They don't realistically need the Game Pass, they don't realistically need to be selling lots of games, whereas if they just had them all in one place, it works out a lot better for them. But that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my opinion. I took an awful lot of research trying to get this one a little bit more straight to the facts, so remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll be told every time me or Idris release a new video. So comment down below, let me know what you think about this merger. Do you think that Microsoft are going to let the PlayStation have Elder Scrolls 6? Because right now, none of us are too sure. So until next time, stay safe, take it easy, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Skyrim footage. Bye!